Okay. So what we're trying to do now, again, is how to take the test, right? So what I'm saying is when you open the test, you're going to find the first 2 pages. Capiche? And you want to set aside a period of time. So you're going to have to keep control of time, right? You're not waiting for the proctor to say 5 minutes left as the first evidence of time having passed, right? Okay. So with respect to, here we've opened the questions 1 through 7. You may open maybe 1 through 6, right? Again, building on what we've discussed, are we reasonably persuaded that these first 7 questions are going to be as friendly as any 7 questions that we see? Yeah. And therefore, there should be more, we should experience a degree of certainty more often here than when we get to the final 2 pages. Yes, talk to me. Yeah. Okay, got it, right? Okay. So now you say, well, but everybody's different. So while I'm going to pick an arbitrary number, that number may not work for you. It may be too little time or it may be too much time. Capiche? What you've got to do is from this exercise is during the week, right? This is exam 74. So in the volume, at a minimum, you go to exam 72 and 73. And you repeat this exercise. You'll be doing the whole section, but you can't do the whole section without doing the first 2 pages, right? So you have a choice. You can have a plan for the first 2 pages, or you cannot have a plan for the first 2 pages. I'm kind of going with plan, right? But then you begin to condition yourself, right? So you're not going in there on the test for the first time, right? So you're going to start conditioning yourself to writing down the number. So for 7 questions, again, this goes in the context of how many questions are you answering, right? Because if you gave yourself, which I would not, but if you gave yourself 2 minutes for each question, you would write a 14 in the upper right-hand side. You got it? And then unless death takes you before the 14 minutes are up, you will be out of there in under 14 minutes. But if you did 14 minutes, you get that's a plan that's going to have limited application, right? Because now you're saying, well, wait a minute, those were the 7 of the most approachable questions. So if I did 14 minutes here, well, you know, I had 35, so now I'm down to 21. Then I turn the page and I'm saying, but I'm going to need more than 14 minutes on the next 7 questions. So if I make that 16 minutes, okay, but now I'm down to 5 minutes. Capiche? So that is a plan where if that were 14 questions, you would have to get 90% of them right. Which that's a very high percent, probably not what you want to be. So you want to think about this. You want to think, of the 35 minutes, how many of them do I want to invest? And again, where you don't get this, you skip it. You with me? Yeah. So what you're not married to 1 through 7, right? If you're reading question number 7 and you don't have a clue, you're done. You're going to save that time and invest it in the next section. Okay? So for this exercise of 1 through 7, I'm thinking 1.5 minutes, and that would be generous, right? But if we did 90 seconds, if we did 1.5 minutes times 7, so 90 times 7. So let's say, so 630 seconds divided by 60, right? That's not working.
The minute and 5.
It would be 3 minutes, for every 2, right? It would be 3 minutes, yes? Mm-hmm. So for 4, it's 6 minutes. Mm-hmm. So for 5, but for 6, but what a schmuck. That would be 9 minutes for 6, right? So here we're talking about 7, so then it would be 10 minutes and 30 seconds. it just feels like it's too much. So we're gonna cut it down. All right, and let's go with 9 minutes. Okay? And again, what you want to do is play with this number in the context of your plan. But you get what I'm doing is what you should be doing, right? As opposed to sitting down there taking section after section after section under time conditions and going nowhere, right? So based on this, I'm going to say, let's use 9 minutes. And if you're done before that, that's fine. Then what you would do if you're done before that, for the purposes of this exercise, just wait till everybody else is finished. But on task, if it only took you 6 minutes, you would then move to the next page and you'd have a +3, because you're 3 minutes ahead of where your plan had you. So, let's open up to exam 74. And then what I'm going to do, right, just for the first part of this, right, is we're going to go over each and every one. Because it's not only about did you get it right, it's are you doing this? Because you could get 7 out of 7 and be doing it in an academic way. And unless that's the optimum way, then you don't want to be doing it that way. If it is the optimum way, then you do want to be doing it that way, right? But the academic way, you'd be reading all 5 answer choices. And that's not where we want to be. There's no way in God's green earth, in the first 7 questions, you should be reading 35 answer choices. There's no attorney on the planet that would do that. Okay, so we're going to do, this is exam 74, section 1. We're going to be doing questions 1 through 7. I'm going to put my timer on here for 9 minutes. Don't start yet. Okay, you guys all ready? Everybody know what I want to do? So you're applying IRAC, right? And you're practicing pulling Detroit. When you're thinking to yourself, what's my degree of certainty, right? Where it's real clear and B is the answer, take B and get your ass out of there. We're going to go over them all, so if it's not working, we're going to know it's not working. But I need you to make this change. Yes? You may begin, you have 9 minutes.